Hello everybody and welcome. I'm the grounded Gliscor, your favorite Iron Man Poketuber of this channel, and I want to welcome you as the coach of the Low Land Nidoqueens for a team builder for our week 5 match versus the Windsor Weaviles coached by Evil Orso. We are the coach of the Low Land Nidoqueens, and currently by this time of the video, your Low Land Nidoqueens are currently 3-1, and Evil Orso is currently 1-3 at this point in time. This week is the week before we actually have the conference match, so this can be a very important match, but this match I didn't take that seriously, mostly due to the fact that we also try to have some fun this week, because I noticed that I'm very serious throughout the weeks, and after the loss of last week versus the Brooklyn Bonnets, I thought that this week we should try with more fun to go into the match. That's why we have this. So for the people who are new, welcome. How I normally do this team build videos, I will go over the team of my opponent, then I will also go over my team, and then I will go over the team that you see in front of you, including spreads, moves, and whatnot, and why did I choose the monsters that are on this list. So be sure to leave a like down below if you're happy that there's another team builder for the Low Land Nidoqueens. Actually get straight into the team of my opponent Orso. So his team consists of Victini, Zapdos, Toxapex, Ferrothorn, Porygon 2, Mega Absol, Gudra, Mimikyu, Mienshao, Kabutops, and Aselgor. His Z captain right here is the Victini, and for the people who don't know yet, our squad right here is Mega Blastoise, Bisharp, Gengar, Shaymin, Ambipom, Dragonite, Espeon, Rotom Heat, Nidoqueen, Blissey, and currently we also have Heracross added to the squad. We had Heracross instead of, we before had Suicune, but we traded it towards the Cleveland Launchers, coached by Red Rampage, which we faced in week 3, and we got a Heracross from his team in return. And our Z captain, by the way, is Dragonite. So, looking at his team, he of course has some threats, obviously, which is going to be mostly Victini at this point, which can be the Choice Bandit set, a Life Orb set, a Choice Specs, Choice Scarf. Can also, in this case, be a Z user, so it's very hard to predict what he might bring, but we are able to actually work around the standard sets and work from there. If he is a Z Crystal Mon, we probably are better playing around it than normally. But a Choice Scarf variant or Bandit variant can be very scary in this case. He has Zapdos, which can be bulky, it can be offensive, but most likely I will see it coming as a bulky defogger with Thunder Wave maybe, or Discharge. It can Volt Switch or U-turn around if it wants to, because we do have a Nidoqueen of course, but he can check that with Hidden Power Ice of course. He also has a defensive core now combined with Toxapex and Ferrothorn. Toxapex is a very bulky mon with 140 plus defenses in physical defense and special defense. Has Baneful Bunkers as its move. Has Regenerator as its ability. I'm sorry. Can be very annoying with moves like Liquidation, Scald, Toxic. Can set up T-Spice if needed. And actually the same goes for Ferrothorn, also very bulky, can hit very hard with the Gyro Ball. Can also be a Rock Setter, a Spike Setter, can also abuse Leechy to his advantage. It does have a 4 times weakness towards fire, and we are able to capitalize on that. But that's actually, that's about it for Ferrothorn. And there's Porygon 2, which is also very defensive, which is mostly Eviolite, bulky, with Recover, Toxic, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, something along those lines. He is also able to run an offensive one, which is also an option. I saw that one in the past also, so that is a good option. He has a Mega Absol on his team, and Mega Absol is a very trending mon with base 115 speed and very high attack. I believe it's base 100 or 120, something along those lines. And it gets Step Dark type moves. It gets also a lot of coverage being a Dark type. So it can pretty much be a threat towards us with Knock-Off Sucker Punch combination. Then he has a Gudra, which is also very bulky. Can be an Assault Vest setter, can be a bit offensive, but most likely is going to be an especially offensive mon. And special defense invested in that. It can also have the Gooey ability, can also run Sap Sipper this week because we have a Shaman, so we can hardwall that. And that's actually going to be Gudra. So then he has a Mimikyu, which is very scary as well, because before Mimikyu actually takes damage, it has his disguise ability. You are able to status it, but disguise is actually like a 1 HP substitute. If you hit it, the disguise fades, but it still is a substitute, so that can mean if he places Mimikyu right, that he can have a free Sword Dance. Mimikyu is in that way very threatening, because it can also run Lumberry, Disguise, Swords Dance maybe, with Shadow Claw, Play Rough, Shadow Sneak, something along those lines, and maybe even Wood Hammer if he wants to counteract our Mega Blastoise or something. Next he has a Mienshao, which is also very speedy. He can also be a Regenerator Mon, and Reckless also. Reckless high jump kick with Life Orb can hurt pretty much very hard. Mienshao does have the option for himself to U-turn out, use high jump kick to his good advantage, has Drain Punch, has the Elemental Punches, and Knockoff as well. Those are some highlighted moves of Mienshao, and I think that Mienshao is also going to be a threat to our team this week, but we are able to work around it, I suppose. He also has a Kabutops, which is a spinner also, combined with Zapdos that gives him hazard removal. Kabutops also is able to be a Rain Sweeper as well, which can set up a Rain Dance and a Swords Dance. It takes up 2 move slots from him, but he is able to actually do a lot of damage. Kabutops is the very high attack stat mon, and it gets a bit let down towards his typing, which is Rock Water, and his ability to actually be fast enough without the rain. That's what it really lacks. Kabutops can also be in Hazard Setter with Stealth Rocks, but I don't see it actually happening. And then lastly, he has an Estelgor, which is also a very fast threatening mon, which can actually have Final Gambit, Spikes. I ran Sticky Hold in the past to keep leftovers. He can also be a Scarfed one, something along the lines of that. He can also be a very offensive set. He does get priority on Water Shuriken. After last week, I am very wary about Water Shuriken. Thank you all so much. And that's actually about it for his threats on this team, and let's actually get straight into the team builder right here. So, we open up the team builder right here with Rotom Heat right here, and Gibson on Rotom Heat is holding a Choice Scarf this week, rocking Volt Switch, Overheat, Dark Pulse, and Trick, rocking 140 HP, 40 defense, 196 special attack, and 132 speed. 132 speed plus the Choice Scarf allows us to outspeed everything on his team pretty much. I'm sorry. We are able to outspeed everything on his team with this. We also are able to outspeed a bulky Zapdos with this Rotom. And maybe even Trick is Ferrothorn or Toxapex, which can be very annoying. We decided on a bit more offensive Rotom this week. More because of the fact that this team has its threats, but if we can abuse that and go a bit offensive in this team, then we're actually going to be able to maybe pull out the win right here. So we have Trick here also. Dark Pulse is here mostly to hit mons like Victini, so it doesn't get completely walled. We hit Mimikyu as well. We do get it does get resisted by Mega Absol, as swallowed by Gudra, and it also gets to be taken care of by Mienshao, but mostly Dark Pulse is here to hit the Victini so we don't get walled. I'm sorry. We just also decided on Shadow Ball, but Shadow Ball would also hit the monster that we hit right now, but he wouldn't have an immunity towards the Porygon 2 right here. Volt Switch Overheat is Jera overall for overall stab. He doesn't have that water, typical water monster threaten us mostly, because we don't need to stay in towards a Toxapex or a Kabutops, so we can get blown back by a waterfall or something. So that's pretty much Rotom right here. Pretty standard Scarf set, but I think it can put on the work. The next one right here is going to be Heracross, of course. It's going to be Campany, our Heracross, which is named after a myth part of the what was it, of Egypt. I believe it was a name for a I don't remember, a beetle bug or something along those lines. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're rocking Flame Orb with Guts, rocking Close Combat, Stone Edge, Knockoff, and Fling, rocking 112 HP, 220 attack, 36 special defense, and 140 speed. The 140 speed allows us to outspeed actually the same as what Rotom does after it loses his Scarf, is actually to outspeed bulky Zapdos pretty much with 123. If he does run more speed, then we know that, but he loses a lot of bulk potential for that. So that's that. We have close combat here for overall stab. Mega Horn, and it looked that's great on here. We have Stone Edge to hit the Zapdos if need be. We can also hit the Goodra for very good damage without making contact. We can also hit Victini if it wants to swap in. So that's pretty much where Stone Edge is there. Knockoff right here is to get rid of items to overall's whole team. Maybe get an evil out of Porygon, maybe slap off some leftovers, maybe get rid of a Scarf or something on Victini. I don't know yet, but we will see. And Fling is pretty much here because I looked at moves that we could give to Heracross and nothing seemed actually good, like setup. We could run setup, but we will be threatened out if something like Victini comes in anyway, and Zapdos if we don't know what set it would be. So that's actually why. We also now have Fling because this actually gives us pretty much the effect, so we can have if we get burned by the Flame Orb, we don't necessarily need the Flame Orb pretty much. So we are practically giving Heracross a one-turn Will-O-Wisp that he could use actually to burn him on. And that's what Fling does, it will burn the opponent if we fling an item towards him. It's a dark type move, so we are not, nothing is actually immune to this. Even Absol does get to fling it back because it is a move that does damage towards the power of the item that it's holding. And I believe you have an item of 1 base power, I believe, but I don't really mind. It's just that it doesn't get bounced back by Mega Absol. So that's pretty much Heracross. We have the 220 attack because that's all that needed, and 112 HP and 36 special defense is what we needed to actually take on what was his face? What was his name again? I believe it was the Goodra. So we can 1v1 that if optional for that. So that's Heracross right here. I think it's the first time it will come, but you can put in the work. So the next one right here is going to be Saphira, the Dragonite, coming back again. We didn't have her last week, but this week she is back. I'm ready to put some things in the ground right here. Holding the ground in MZ with multi-skill ability, rocking Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Dragon Claw, and Extreme Speed. 24 HP, 180 attack, 8 defense, 160 special defense, and 180 speed with an Adamant Nature. This also outspeeds bulky Zapdos, and is also the speed that we need that after +1 Dragon Dance, we actually outspeed his entire team outside of Scarfers. And compared with Ground EMZ, an Earthquake will actually OHKO Toxapex from full. So that's actually why we run the Earthquake Ground EMZ right here, because Toxapex is something that can be walled here pretty much. Ferrothorn does actually wall us with this, but I don't see actually a point because we have options for Ferrothorn anyway. So why wouldn't I do that? So we have the 24 HP and 116 special defense to actually take a Glaciate from full if he's offensive Victini. If he is offensive Victini, we're able to take a Glaciate from him and actually strike back with an Earthquake and do tremendous damage towards him. Dragon Claw is here to hit everything outside of the Mimikyu. We can hit Mimikyu probably with Earthquake. And we need to stab Dragon Claw, else we cannot take on Goodra. So that's going to be Saphira right here. Next up we have Ruby the Espeon rocking a Life Orb this week with Magic Bounce ability, with Psychic, Baton Pass, Hidden Power Fire, and Dazzling Gleam. 136 HP, 8 defense, 180 special attack, and 184 speed. 184 speed allows us to outspeed a non-Scarf Victini. If it is indeed a Z move, we are able to outspeed that if needed. You have the Life Orb right here to boost also the HP Fire, which we can hit Ferrothorn with. We have Dazzling Gleam, so we can hit Mega Absol, Goodra a bit harder. We can also hit Toxapex with the Psychic super effectively, and Psychic is here mostly so it doesn't get particularly walled by anything. And we have Baton Pass right here because Baton Pass gives us switch initiative. If he probably wants to swap out with a Mon, he swaps first, even though we are faster because of using a move instead of directly switching out. I think this is a good move for an offensive Espeon to actually work, and I'm wondering how this will work because I never used the Baton Pass Espeon, so I'm really wondering how it goes. The next one is going to be probably the most heat set I ever brought towards the league so far. And I think it can put in the work and also rub it a bit in that it isn't pretty much set up fodder, as I said before. We're going to bring Lullaby the Blissey right here with leftover Serene Grace here with Soft Boiled, Ice Beam, Flamethrower, and Charge Beam. 212 HP, 252 defense, and 44 special attack. 212 HP with the defense allows us to take every one hit from the opponent's team. We are able to take a superpower as well, I believe. We don't invest in special defense this week because we're bulky from itself already. The Serene Grace, we have Serene Grace over Natural Cure because so we get the guaranteed special attack boost from Charge Beam. And after one Charge Beam, we are able to guaranteed 2-shot Ferrothorn with 75% minimum. So that's that. Ice Beam is there to hit Goodra, even though we may swallow it, but we wall hit anyway. We have Charge Beam to hit Toxapex eventually, so it can maybe Toxic us, but we can 1v1 it with Charge Beam right here. Yes, does have a Mien Shell, but we have options for that. And then he also has a Victini, which we can swap in pretty much every time. So Blissey is going to be basically the meme of this week, but I wanted to have some fun with Blissey. And this is probably the way that we can rock out with some fun on Blissey. So, and the last one right here is going to be Hawkthorn, also rocking a Life of Natural Cure ability, rocking Seed Flyer, Hidden Power Fire, Rest, and Healing Wish. Rocking 108 HP, 60 defense, 128 special attack for the special defense, a 208 speed. The 208 speed is enough to outspeed Kabutops, guaranteed if he's Jolly max speed. We OHKO it with Seed Flare. HP Fire is here to actually do damage towards Ferrothorn, which we also do a minimum of 54%. If he is indeed the max HP, max special defense, relaxed one. So that's powerful. That's basically the moves that we needed. And then we have Rest to recover up if we get too low on health. And we have Healing Wish to actually help other mon that needs our help on the squad. So that's actually the team we're going to bring versus Orso. And be sure to check out the battle tomorrow. I want to thank you all so much for watching so far with this team builder. And leave a like, subscribe, and leave also a comment down below what you think will be the outcome of the match from tomorrow. So I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video that I'm going to make. I will see you next time, and I'm out. Bye!